Absolutely. Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to the Miss Lillian's page. If you caught my frantic live just like 30 minutes ago on my Litter to Glitter page, I got in a huge amount of Happy Mail and I needed it to start this project. So you'll see me working with my Post-it today and also my first step prep. So let me tell you the game plan for this. All right, let me get out of the way. So this is a wine cabinet. Eek, if you can. This is a wine cabinet, and it's got up here, it's got the little bars for you to hang your glasses. I am not, and here's the handles, I already took them off. I am not a wine drinker. So I am donating this piece to the Barry Volunteer Fire Department for their annual fundraiser barbecue in October 28th. It's got a factory finish on it. It's not bad. I mean, it's pretty. It's a little dinged up and rubbed, and I could fix it if I wanted to. And I actually offered it to talk to another member of our fire department and showed her the piece, and she's like, it's pretty, but it's not Crystified. Her words, not mine. It's not Crystified, and she wants a piece in the auction that is Crystified. Didn't know Crystified was a word, but it is now, thanks to Michelle. Michelle made a new word. It's Crystified. It needs to be Crystified. So, okay. My plan is I'm going to be using this decoupage paper down here. And then I'm going to be blending in the colors. So let me get this out of the way. You saw that I did take the handles off. Fold this up for my dogs to come in and be like, oh, fun, something to chew up. Did take the handles off. I did prep it. You guys know my little secret if you've seen it me before, where I use zip ties and make them into loops and stick them in through. Well, why do you do this, Crysta? Well, let me get this one back in there. No, please go back in, please. It's not going to go because, see, I put them in there and I shouldn't have taken. There it is. Yay. All right. A lot of times with pieces, especially when they have drawers, if you take the handles off so you're not ooking and gooking around, then when you go to, there's nothing to, now this one I could grab the bottom down here and do it, but still, it's just easier to do that, honestly. With drawers, you can always reach up underneath the piece, but that's a lot of finagling. You can always use the screwdriver in the hole and pop it out, whatever needs to be. It's fine, but I do like using zip ties to do this. So what we're going to be doing today first is my first step prep. Hey, Kat, heard you got a job, girl. So proud of you. First step prep. Many of you know I've got issues with my hands. Sometimes they don't want to cooperate. Go figure. And so I put mine in a Mr. bottle. See, this is first step prep. I made sure. Make sure you label everything. And so I'm going to give this baby a good clean. And with the mister, I find one, my hand is not hurting as much. And two, I get a really good coverage of this. Now, this piece was painted, factory finished. It was from a factory. This is not hand done by anybody. This was factory. And it was made to look aged and distressed. So this brown you see up here is actually glaze. It's not, and it's on wheels. So, okay, let me just push it all the way to the back. So I'm not chasing this thing across the floor. Ew, can y'all see that? It's actually not bad because I cleaned this a couple of months ago. When I first got it in, I cleaned it. And so it's really not that bad. It's been sitting in my living room. It's just dusty. But we want to get all that off. Now I'm going to tell you something about putting this in your Mr. bottle is that I over here on the side, I have a mason jar full of water, because if you leave your first step prep in your bottles like this, what will happen is that it will like eat the spring up because of the chemicals and everything in it. And so when I am done cleaning, I'll show you guys what I do. I just take the top off my mister and I run a couple of sprays of water through it to make sure that the water goes all the way through the straw that's in my Mr. bottle. And then that way, I do not have to worry about it gunking that up and then destroying my sprayer. And Crysta, why would you say something like that? Because I went through a Mr. bottle. I destroyed a Mr. bottle. So let me destroy my stuff so you don't have to destroy your stuff. But if you have issues sometimes with your hands, sometimes spray bottles are, first step prep comes like this in one of these bottles. And, doing this over time a bunch, I hate it. Hey, Chassie DeGroot's on with me. Kat said she does, but she's sick of moving. Poor girl. Pretty cabinet, though. Thank you. So it's going to be even prettier when I'm done with it. So, let me just get the dust off the top of this baby. Because it's a glass top, and I will scrub it down when I'm done. But the top of this cabinet, I'll show you, has like a glass inlay and paint underneath. So the finish that I'm doing is going to incorporate this top on it because I'm not taking the glass off and then painting underneath and all that good stuff. I'm just not doing it. That's a lot of work. All right. So before I'm done with my first step prep. I take the same rag that I cleaned with and I hold it up against the sprayer and then mason jar water and pump. And so what this is doing, it's just running that first step prep through. And I am just letting it go. Bunch of pumps. You don't want to mess up your Mr. bottle. And then I do that as soon as I am done cleaning. Put it back on. All my first step prep is in that rag. And so when I throw it in the wash, it's not a big deal. It's in there. So I always say I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to do it again. Take you guys off the tripod to show you the top. So, okay. You see the top of it? And so those colors we're going to incorporate along with the decoupage that I showed you earlier. And yeah, Crysta's a mess, no makeup, because it's prep day and we don't wear makeup on prep day. So I'm just going to start with a side because this piece is oval. Get it propped up against that. So again, I'm not chasing it. I have an inexpensive, is it glass? Yes, it's glass up there. It's like a mirror. I don't know if they use like a metallic, but it looks like a painted mirror on top with glass over top of it. And I kind of looked at deconstructing the piece to change it. And oh no, this thing was built right. And so it would be a lot of work to get in there and deconstruct it. I have a inexpensive Wooster brush just because I'm using Pro Stick. You can always use your chip brushes. You can even use your good brushes. The problem with using my good brushes is that I'm an idiot and I will set this down when I'm done and I'll forget about it. And Pro Stick is not going to wash off. So wash out. I have ruined so many brushes. So I always use an inexpensive brush. This brush is like $4. And so, but I didn't want to use a chip brush. I want to get a better, smoother, really tight finish on this. So I'm just using an inexpensive brush. And so your Pro Stick, we are going to Pro Stick this baby, and Shorty's going to kill me because I just dropped a bunch of Pro Stick on the floor. Ooh, Crysta. That's okay. I got my rag here with my Pro Stick and I got it up. He's not going to kill me. He'll never know unless he watches this video. And so I am going to do at least 2 coats of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a coat and then I will let it dry. And then I will come back and do a second coat. And since this was painted before, I could very well have used the gray. The gray would have definitely given me better coverage over top of what's the inlays and the everything that you see, the different colors, would have given me more cover up. The problem is that since I am doing decoupage, if I used the gray Pro Stick, then what I would have had to do is paint it gray and then come back and paint it white. And I've real honest with you guys, Crysta is a lazy painter. And since I have to do 2 coats of the Pro Stick anyway, why not just do the white instead of doing 2 coats and then come back and painting it again and then painting it again with the decorative finish. So we don't want to do that. So saving steps, saving myself time, because I have until probably I have 1 or 2 weeks to get this baby done and then give it some cure time. So I am on a schedule with this one. Okay, Kat says that she understands about the top now. Yeah, I didn't know how really to explain it because it was an interesting design. The way that they did this, it was extremely interesting the way that they built this piece. And it's one of those things you never really pay attention to how a piece is made until you need to deconstruct it. This one is done very well. So I am going around the back of the piece. Like I said, this piece is oval, so it will be painted all the way around. All the way around. This piece will be painted all the way around. It's on casters, and so it's a wine bar, and so this would be great for somebody to have in their house that likes to entertain, but they can put this off to the side, and then when they have people come over, they can always just wheel it out from the wall, grab the wine, grab the glasses, and you've got serving on top. So it's a neat little piece. Actually bought it after we moved in here because I thought it went well with my decor and stuff. But then I found out that my moonshine bottles didn't fit in it. Oh well. So Crysta's moving on. So somebody might ask, what is Pro Stick? Pro Stick is an adhesive bond. And what it does is when you have a factory finish and it's got glaze and it's got top coat, or if you've got something that's varnished, sometimes it's very, very difficult for you to get your paint to adhere without flaking over top of those factory finishes. And I could have easily had sanded this down, but again, if it's made out of press board or something like that, you run the risk of blowing through that press board, and then you've got a whole bunch of other problems in your mist at that point. So I didn't want to sand on it, and plus I don't like sanding. I know some people are, I love sanding. No, not this girl. I don't like sanding. So this way I don't have to sand. I'm guaranteed that my paint is going to adhere really, really well to this piece. And I've got Ford hair. And I just vacuumed in here. Before my boxes came in, I was in here vacuuming to get all of Ford's hair. But that's okay. I got it out. And if you notice, using Pro Stick, I've got my hair. Usually I've got it flopped over in the Horton Here's a Who hairstyle. Today, I've got it definitely all pinned up. That way I don't get my hair in this. So this creates a good bond between your paint and what is already laid down. And that way, you've got a good finish. Is that another hair? That's another hair. Ah!
You shave them.
My son's sitting right off camera, and we've been having this joke recently that we're gonna shave. We're gonna shave Ford, our Great Pyrenees, make him look like his first day at boot camp. And it's just a joke. Don't send PETA after me. We're not gonna shave the dog. But there we go. This is all that Pro Stick is, and that is how easy it is to apply. And you can usually, I like to leave my pieces for several hours to overnight. And before I do the next coat, usually with the Pro Stick, you can do your second coat in 1 to 2 hours, depending upon the humidity and temperature, things like that. But usually 1 to 2 hours. I usually like to Pro Stick in the afternoon or evenings just because I'm impatient. And, when I do something, I want to do the next thing. And I don't like waiting. So I like to Pro Stick in the evening. That way, like tonight, I've got a meeting to go to for the fire department. And so I won't be here for that. And so definitely by the time I get home, it'll be ready for a second coat. I can go ahead, apply that second coat and let it sit and another night. And then by morning, I will have 2 coats on it that have dried overnight, or I will Pro Stick it in the morning. And that way I know that I have good cure time on it in between coats. Because I'm impatient. Again, I just am. I know me, I've met me. And some people might say, well, that's not a good quality. But, I've met me, I know me, and I know me all too well that I would definitely do it again. So Kat said, yeah, they shed a lot. I think I got like 8 chihuahuas off my floor vacuuming today. Was enough hair there to make like 8 chihuahuas. So, and I'm still finding hair. Anybody else paint with dogs, cats, long-haired husbands, furry husbands? Because I find hair everywhere. I feel like, what is it, the Sixth Sense? I see dead people. I see bed hair. It's everywhere.
Ford.
Oh, Ford's just standing at the gate staring at me. Usually, a lot of times I'll let him in the studio with me. And today I'm like, nope, I got too much stuff on the ground and I don't want to get fur all in this. And so he has been banished to the gate and he is not happy about it.
Same thing with Odin.
Is Odin in by the gate too?
He's laying down by the floor, thinking about crawling underneath.
You better not crawl underneath that gate. So in just a short amount of time, I've already gotten 90% of it. These are just the 2 front doors. I started at the right edge of one door, worked my way around. Marlene said, yes, she has a Shepsky. She is half Husky, half Shepherd, and she sheds like crazy. Ford didn't shed like crazy until the weather got under, 111,000 degrees. No, when it got to about 80 degrees, he just started shedding like he normally didn't shed a lot. And so I had been fighting the whole shedding thing since the weather got under 80 degrees. We had a cold snap where it was actually high of like 70 one day. And the next day it was like poof. There was hair everywhere. Anybody else's dogs give them attitude? Because I got done vacuuming today and I looked at Ford and I said, all right, I got everything up. Be nice to me. He stood in the middle of the living room floor and shook. Stared right at me when he did it. Oh. Oh, I could have. Oh. So, again.
But you love him.
I do love him. And so I am pulling my door and going this way just to cover that edge because I don't want it to gunk up on the sides of the door. And see, I left myself an out. Get right there. And then I can go back, not have to worry about gunking up the door. So, Kat said that it will be interesting when she moves because her friend has a cat. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. Start making videos. Get yourself, do your TikTok account, make some videos because I want to see the insanity. I shared the insanity with you guys at my house. Be nice if y'all shared with me because I know I'm not the only one that deals with the insanity of animals. Marlene says that they think they're people. Marlene, you're wrong. You are absolutely wrong. My dogs know that they're people. They have no idea that they're dogs. None. They don't think they're people. They know they're people. Austin, stop trying to get the dog to curl underneath. I'm having a hard enough time keeping their hair out of this piece. I do not need them in here right now.
Should I grab Crackhead then?
No, do not grab her. Do not grab Whiskey Girl right now. All right, so we're on the last door. And again, I'm just going to go real quick. I'm going to make my little up at the top. Make sure I'm not gunking. Right from that zip tie to the edge. I'll hold the door at the bottom. That just like cutting in a wall, guys. It's just like cutting in a wall. There we go. And then I can plop it back into place and go to town. Like I said, I'll do 2 coats on this. This is my first coat. And yeah, I could probably, honestly, as dry as it is right now, I could probably go and just start my second coat right now. But I don't want to. I know that I need to wait a little bit longer. Could I get away with it? Of course I could get away with it. But I do want to make sure that this piece can become possibly a legacy piece for a family. And so I want to make sure that I'm doing everything properly with proper cure times and everything else. Again, if you did not see, I did a frantic Happy Mail video. I needed the Pro Stick and stuff for this video and the First Step Prep and some of the colors. And I was really stressing because I didn't know if the boxes would get here on time. And about 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes before I went live, the FedEx delivery truck showed up. And Austin and I crunched it. We did a Happy Mail video, 4 huge boxes. And so, yeah. And then I had to get off of there and then come back and set up for this. So yeah, it was fun. So yes, this is, well, if I didn't have Pro Stick on my finger from before, I could show you that it's not coming off. Okay. See, I do have Pro Stick on like right there and right there. So I'll use these 2 fingers. How about that? Ta-da! So it is dry to the touch. I could go ahead, but we're not. And so I'm going to probably give this, well, actually, I'm going to put my Pro Stick in. You can put your Pro Stick in a plastic baggie and Ziploc it and save it if you want, if you're going to use it quickly. I mean, I wouldn't leave it like that for weeks or months at a time, but since I do have extra in here, I'll go ahead and I'll rinse out my brush. Definitely never, ever, ever leave Pro Stick in your brushes. I know some people say that they can get away with it, and I'm like, What takes it off your skin? Off your skin is soap and water. On your skin, soap and water. I've had it on my nails and I had to sit there and like scrape it off my nails. But from your skin, soap and water. Um, if you were at the very, very beginning, I dropped some on the floor, just a couple of drips out of my brush. And while it was wet, I got my Pro Stick and it got it off of the hardwood floors. So you can use your first step prep if it's wet on hard surfaces, clean up with soap and water on skin and hands. If it gets on your clothes, you now have Pro Stick on your clothes. Yeah. And do me a favor, never touch your glasses, because I've done that before. Like I said, let me make the mistakes because I make enough of them and I'm honest enough to tell you that I've made them. And so I would rather say, hey, I've made this mistake and here's how I fixed it, than, you guys messing up your glasses or something like that. Oh, there. I got it all set up with my glazes and my metallics, and that is my jewel box. And so that piece is up and functioning in my studio. Sorry, guys. I don't know what that's about. So I'm pretty much, if you have any questions about Pro Stick, if you have any questions about first step prep, if you want to know how to, now first, let me say that Pro Stick, you can use it with all of the Miss Lillian's products, whether it be the metallics, the Souche Hues. You can use it with the Metal Smith. You can use it with the regular chalk mineral paint, the chalk paint, CHOCK paint. You can use it with all of Miss Lillian's products. So, Kat said she would do that with her glasses. Yeah, I did that. I had it all over my hands, and I think I had some on my face. So I grabbed my glasses, and Austin says, I remember that day. Yeah, there was a lot of choice words, wasn't there? Well, just Austin goes, a lot. So, your first step prep, I think that I went over all that with you guys. I would say this about your first step prep is that do not use it as an everyday cleaner. It is a deglosser and it is for prepping furniture. It is not for everyday cleaning. Does it do a great job of cleaning all the gunk and everything off your furniture? Yes, it'll also take any wax you have off. It'll take the shine off because it is a deglosser. And so do not use this. I had a lady do that one time. She says, I use this on, I'm now using this to clean my whole house. And I'm like, please don't do that. And we sat down and we had a wonderful conversation about why not to do that. And she doesn't do that anymore. So this is a cleaner for prep, not for everyday cleaning. So my lovelies, thank you guys for hanging out with me and joining me. I will be back on next Tuesday with this thing prepped and ready to go. If you weren't at the beginning, I'll show you this real quick. This is the decoupage that we're going to be using on this piece. So that is the decoupage paper that we will, and should have that on by next week. Next week, we will start blending edges and working on getting this piece finished and sealed. Because like I said, I only got, 2.5, 3 weeks to do this piece. And also I want to get it some dry time. So my lovelies, I will be back on next week, Miss Lillian's page. And catch me over at Litter to Glitter. I am Crysta Barrera, furniture artist out of Barry, Texas. Much love, you guys. Bye, guys.